Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another exciting video. Today, discussing the very real war we have among the Republican primary electorate. Today, discussing the battle between Ronald DeSantis, also known as Ron DeSatan, versus Donald John Trump. Okay, this is a big deal. Apparently, the fire has been fomenting for a while. You could say even for a couple of years at this point. But it has peaked unlike any other time in our history. We have seen that Donald Trump has, for a myriad of different reasons, somewhat concocted this sort of globalist angle of attack towards Ron DeSantis. And we're going to be discussing that because, of course, you guys know that I'm no fan of Ron DeSatan. And I've been anti-DeSatan ever since he was ever compared to Donald Trump, because I'm Trump gang until I'm dead. And here's the thing. When discussing these political issues, we must also consider the fact that there's ulterior motives for what a lot of these politicians will say in their statements. So let's go ahead and parse these through. So as you guys know, we have this Trump statement from Truth Social. Hopefully he gets on Twitter quickly. And you can see here that he says that the Club for Growth, the Club for No Growth is a globalist group that I have been talking about taking to the cleaners for years. We worked together for a period, but they could not get away from China, Europe, and Asia, and parts are known. They know I won't play that game. I'm America first all the way. There's only one way we will make America great again. Ron DeSantimonious, who I made governor in both the primary and general, is also a globalist, and so are his donors. Jeb, quote-unquote, low-energy Bush, was next to him last week. Check past. Yeah, so that is what Trump said about Ron DeSantis. Why is this important? Because before, if you guys can recall, Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis were very amicable to each other. And Don's really right. Basically, what Donald Trump is recognizing is that he put Ron on. If you recall, Ron DeSantis prior to 2018, which I know damn well none of you have recalled his existence before then because he was irrelevant despite being an elected member to Congress for 2 or 3 terms prior to the presidency, you could see that he was basically towing the line. Even if you were in the Freedom Caucus, he was not in any leadership position I can think of. He did nothing of significance, and that is in contrast to people that were immediately stars in the Republican Party upon getting into elected office, namely, Marjorie Taylor Greene or people like Matt Gaetz. And that could be for a good or a bad reason. But ultimately, he did not get any stardom of his own in 2016. In fact, he endorsed Trump, I believe, only after endorsing Marco Rubio, which shows that he wasn't an ideologue in regards to supporting Trump. He wasn't one of the first people in the vanguard to do so, like Jeff Sessions and other people like this. So you cannot give him credit for being on the Trump train as early as I was, which was summer of 2015, but more so summer of 2016, which is utterly pathetic when you think about a guy who's 40 years old, who should know better than to support people like Jeb Bush or people like Marco Rubio in 2016, and yet then come to the whole Republican nominee must be supported sort of dogma, which basically any Republican to the right of Lindsey Graham will do. So I do not give him any credit for endorsing Donald Trump in 2016. And as we move further along in the chronological order of this sequence of events, you'll often see the fact that Ron DeSantis tends to go wherever the wind is blowing. And you can see that even prior to 2018, he did absolutely nothing that you could say is out of the ordinary. He basically voted right in line with virtually everything. And some people that are very learned and well-read on Twitter will point out something that he voted or disagreed with on a military issue in 2015 or something. I don't honestly care, and nobody knows about that. And I'm a very smart guy, so for me to not know something that these Twitter spurgs are talking about, then, it probably isn't a big deal, and most normies don't know about it. Anyway, to further on my point, Ron DeSantis was in particular known for running these ads in 2018 around the midterm era against Andrew Gillum, who is notorious for his feats of meth addiction and whatever fruitiness he was going towards. In his candidacy, it was a close election. And as you can see here, it was a very close election. In my mind, I can picture it already. It was vivid in my mind. Ron DeSantis was running these ads about, his little child building a wall with like alphabet blocks and whatnot, just completely meat riding Donald and just completely filleting him, which I'm perfectly fine with. But it's awfully interesting how now when the tables have turned, he is now flipping on that position because he sees it as opportune to be a wedge issue sort of person who will go wherever the wind is blowing. And right now it's blowing anti-Trump, so he's going to be anti-Trump. It's just truly unfortunate because a lot of people really have faith in the person. They really think that Ron DeSantis is going to fix anything, when in reality, he's basically Diet Trump, and Diet Trump is not cool. I love Diet Coke. I've seen many thin people drink Diet Coke, in fact, and that's the one thing I disagree with Trump with. And ultimately, I love Diet Coke that isn't an off-brand, right? In fact, Ron DeSantis isn't Diet Coke. He is RC Cola. That's a better comparison. He's a generic off-brand. He's the great value Donald Trump. When we're talking about platform, we're talking about somebody who aped Trump's entire thing, basically. And it's ultimately undue support that he gets on Twitter from these people that think that, oh, he's better at legislating or whatever hell else, as if he doesn't have a supermajority in a lot of cases in regards to the upper and lower chambers of the House and Senate here in Florida. He has a supreme control over the Supreme Court, for instance, and he still has yet to ban a lot of these alphabet agenda issues for children. And it's unfortunate because people will tote his record of, oh, he banned so-and-so education up until the 5th grade. Well, how about the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th, 12th grade? Huh? How about that, huh? Or he defunded this in college. Well, doesn't he have the authority to ban it too? How about you ban it? And I'm sick and tired of these half measures from these Daily Wire people that support DeSantis only because they resent Trump. They meat watch Trump. They want to be him. And it's unfortunate because they will never ever be that. And you can think, oh, I'm so smart. I'm Ben Shapiro. I know better than Trump. No, you don't, you little impotent bitch, which is why you're running your little media outfit and you're not president. Okay, so the fact is that, Donald Trump is better than most, and he's better than Ron DeSantis, and Ron DeSantis is his son, pretty much. And that, I mean, you cannot even debate this. So he aped his own, aped his own image, and also keep in mind this: Ron DeSantis has not been attacked from the left as much as Donald Trump has, because number one, Ron DeSantis is more optical, but then again, it comes with the consequence of not being as exciting, not motivating the youth, and whatever else, right? We call him No Riz Ron. I don't remember what friend of mine came up with that. It was like somebody that Red Eagle knew, but the point is to say is that, No Riz Ron, he doesn't have what it takes. And even watching the video that Trump uploaded, I think 2 days ago, in regards to what he would do with transgender people and those policies, which I completely agree with, and is to the right of whatever DeSantis is proposing, in my opinion. You can see that he's clearly reading off of a teleprompter. It seemed like he hadn't even read it before. He just came up, stood there, and read the teleprompter. And even with that being said, he had more charisma, more riz, as us young people say now, than did Ron DeSantis. He comes in with these written comebacks that somebody else obviously makes for him, and he cannot pull them off without stuttering or looking down at the notes like a little impotent little beta. And it's truly unfortunate. It would get maxed out by any given politician that knows anything at all, because Ron DeSantis is not a good debater. Even when going against a far leftist candidate like Andrew Gillum in 2018, he only barely won, despite Florida being relatively resistant to the midterm effect of the blue wave in 2018, which goes to show how critical Donald Trump was towards the victory of Ron DeSantis in Florida. And without DeSantis being governor, he wouldn't have enough clout to challenge Trump, as seen by people with less clout, like Nikki Haley, who's a complete joke, who Red Eagle told me to actually make a video about her, running and declaring. But of course, she's too irrelevant to make a video about as of right now, so I'm not going to do that. But Ron DeSantis does have my attention for sure, because he does have a respectable amount of the nominee polling, as seen here. Trump is at 46 with the plurality, DeSantis at 30.8, and a bunch of these freaking losers over here, just haters, hangers on, right? Over here at the single digits. So anyway, the point is to say that Ron DeSantis is not headed towards victory. Again, Trump is at a relative low point. He is censored from virtually everything, and even if he isn't banned from some place, he's still not posting on there, which is his fault, I suppose. But I guess, there's some contractual obligations he has to fulfill before getting on Twitter. But anyway, the point is to say that, his stock is at the absolute lowest, and even still, he's beating DeSantis. And this is why, you have to nip it in the bud. You have to destroy DeSantis now. And people will say, oh, he has to attack the Democrats. Why isn't he attacking Democrats? It isn't the general election yet, bozo. It is the fucking general election in, 2 years? We are still waiting on a primary to be in complete fruition. And it's not in earnest. It hasn't begun in earnest yet. Which is to say that we ought to be more in a position to attack each other as Republicans and kind of sort out those issues before we head into the general and obliterate the Democrats, presuming there's no shenanigans, right? I'm trying to stay on YouTube. Anyway, the point is to say that, not accounting for that, Trump has a clear pathway of victory, assuming he passes the nomination, which he probably will at this rate. And the people that are simping for DeSantis are not representative of the people in person. I, deal with a lot of college Republicans, obviously, and we all know this, that the people are for Donald Trump still. And again, it's not even prime Donald Trump. Trump peaked like 6 years ago, and even still, he's better than the competition. And, it's kind of like Tom Brady now, where Tom Brady's still a really good quarterback, even though he was better 15 years ago. Similar to Trump, again, not in the prime, but still better than the competition by and large. Ron DeSantis is just the weak man's version. Donald Trump is Tom Brady, and we have Matt Ryan as Ron DeSantis. Okay, it's just truly disappointing. I don't even know why the fuck this is even a debate, and yet we're having it today. And that's without me even reading a lot of the stuff that Ron DeSantis has been saying about Donald Trump. And again, he kept his mouth shut because he's a little beta, baby beta. He does want to avoid conflict because he is scared of Donald Trump. He knows he'd get mauled because Donald Trump, even in his old age, is mugging the heck out of Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis does not have the Riz, and that is basically what it boils down to. If you were to explain this to an 8-year-old, you would say that Ron has no Riz. It's so true. I bet Casey DeSantis probably dreams of Donald Trump. To be completely honest, when you think about it, what does Ron bring to the table? He's impotent. He's built like a fucking fridge. He's not going to make it, okay? Anyway, we see that President Biden is down to a -10 approval rating for the most part, meaning that, DeSantis is more electable. First of all, even if that's the case, who freaking cares if Joe Biden's approval rating is -10? What president wins with -10? I know that I've taken a sabbatical from politics as compared to a couple of years ago, but the fact is that it's not a big deal as to whether or not Joe Biden's approval rating is 42 or 39. He's probably going to lose regardless, assuming that we have a fair election, which for the sake of YouTube, I'll say that we will have a fair election, right? Totally, guys. Anyway, we have to play to win regardless of how the House is cooking the results. Okay, I'll just tell you what, just to make a casino reference there. Anyway, this is what Ron DeSantis said in response to the Truth Social posted by Trump a couple days ago. He goes in front of the public and he says, "I roll out of bed. I have people attacking me from all angles. It's been happening for many, many years," DeSantis said during a press conference in Bradenton, as if the detail of wherever in Florida that, who cares. The good thing is that the people that are under, hold up. The good thing is that the people are able to render a judgment on that, whether they reelect you or not. And I'm happy to say that, in my case, not only did we win reelection, we won with the highest margin of vote that any Republican governor or candidate has done in the history of the state of Florida. That verdict has been rendered by the people of the state of Florida. Obviously, that is a very stupid non sequitur argument because, first of all, that doesn't have to do with anything that you said that makes you a human being, right? When he's talking about you being a globalist, whether or not you're electable in the state of Florida has nothing to do with that. And again, he does not address the criticisms of his donors being globalist, of him having a neoconservative foreign policy for years. He is basically countering the fact that, oh, Donald attacked me. Well, I won Florida by more than he did as governor in a red wave. Oh, here you go, buddy. Who fucking cares? Who flipping cares, brother? Because honestly, if you win past a certain amount, does it really even matter? And think about it this way: the people that are trying to pass off that he won Florida by 20. So what? Is he going to win Michigan by 10 by that logic? Does that even carry over, or is it that 80% of Ron's popularity in Florida is akin to Florida itself? And, him being electable in Florida maybe helps him in Arizona by like 1%. But, when we're talking about a president who's an incumbent with a -10% approval rating, do we really need that 1% in Arizona? I highly doubt that, assuming all is fair, right? We're assuming it's all above board with this upcoming election, right? Anyway, the point is to say that, his electability isn't really impactful when regarding how the Dems are really screwed here, assuming something crazy doesn't happen with the inflation and everything going to crap. And Ron DeSantis is over here claiming, oh, I won by so much. Okay, boo-hoo, who cares? And by the way, Jeb Bush won Florida by a lot. Given the political ramifications of the 2000s, you would think that he would do worse in Florida. And yet, Jeb Bush had a very popular gubernatorial run, and did that even foment any success in 2016? No, he got fucking mauled by Trump, despite him being the odds-on favorite, having more money, having more popularity in regards to name status with his brother, and yet he got freaking destroyed. Why? Because Donald Trump is a fucking savage. He would destroy you. Why? Because this whole, oh, I'm white bread, I'm inoffensive, that's lame. We want the orange energy. We don't need this fucking pale nonsense. We need skin in the game. Ron has not made an original idea in his mind ever. And these Ron DeSantis fans are fucking lunatics. You're talking about people that will use a TikTok filter to make him look younger and more handsome. The guy looks like a freaking football in terms of the leathery skin and whatnot. And again, he's built like a fridge. And people will make fun of Trump. Trump's physiognomy is better. He's taller than Ron. Despite him shrinking due to age, he's still like 4 inches taller than Ron, because Ron is a midget compared to Don. Because the Don is the Don, okay? Don Clorioni, no, he is the Don DJT or whatever. He is winning. Okay, that is the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Tell me if you want me to make a video about the Twitter Ron DeSantis supporters, because these people are lunatics. Rep would probably make a video, but he'll probably make me do it. So anyways, shout out to everybody that watched. Comment down below what you think. See y'all in the next one. Bye.